The Fed Chair Jerome Powell is about to send a shockwave across the markets. In fact, he's speaking today. And also on top of that, CPI numbers are coming out on Thursday. This is about to be the biggest week of 2023, of which it's only the second week. Let's take a look at the charts and see what's actually going to be happening as these big high impact numbers are coming out. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Again, not financial advice. And in fact, this is the first video of 2023. So I'm super excited to get started on the year. Already had a swing and a miss. First trade of the year was for a loss. Motherfucker. But I just closed out my US 30 and SPX short right before New Year's for close to $70,000 in gains, which brought me about, $500K on the year. Can't complain, $500K in a bear market. A lot of people lost money. Let's just take a look at what's going on in the markets currently. I basically haven't really been doing a whole lot the last week, but let's see where we're at. We actually did just see a pretty big rally across the board in the altcoins, but let's just go right into what's happening on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And right now, if we do look at Bitcoin, we are actually forming up in a potential bullish wedge if we don't break down. If we do break out above this neckline here, that's currently at about, today's price, about 18.2, which would also correlate to a retest of this resistance. If it did, in fact, start breaking above this on volume, that could be a short-term bounce to the upside. Whether that means it's end of the bear market and beginning of a new bull run, hard to say. I'm not really sure. I do believe that we have more downside to go in the actual crypto markets, and I do believe we have more downside to go as well as in the US stock market. So as of right now, I'm still short, right? I was actually up about 10K on my short on Bitcoin because I did add on this entire spike to the upside. You can see currently my average fill price on Bitcoin is about 17.2, of which I'm basically break even as of right now, but I'm short about 200K worth of Bitcoin, 12 Bitcoins, and I'm about break even. And if we actually look at kind of the flag that's forming up here as of right now, right, we could definitely potentially come back up, retest this kind of now descending resistance. Here we have 1, 2, and now this would be the third tap as well as this horizontal resistance right here. I do believe it's very highly probable that we could see a potential run into that zone before potentially coming back down and then breaking down this flag, of which would then we'd retest lows, which would then bring us a lot of momentum to continue down to the 9 to 13K, which I've been shooting for a long time. There has been a lot of patience needed for this breakdown, which is yet to happen. So we don't know if it's going to happen or not, right? So you have to be able to plan for both scenarios of what if it does break above this and actually hold above it and get a confirmed breakout and close and actually sustain possibly, a potential bullish flag here where we could consolidate and then finally rip to the upside and maybe retest upwards of 21K around here. All potential scenarios. But right now, as of today, I'm still short my Bitcoin position, and I would even potentially re-short and add into this zone right around 18,000 if we do spike up there. But we might not even get up there. The fact that Jerome Powell is getting ready to speak, as well as the CPI numbers are coming out on Thursday this week, it's hard to say what's going to happen. I'm not going to act like I can predict what these numbers are going to be. But if the numbers are bad, that's definitely going to cause a shockwave through the markets and actually see a big crash to the downside. But if the numbers are good, it could be the potential catalyst to push us back up to 18K and potentially break out over this level and then see a continued rally to the upside back up to potential 21K. These are all factors that you have to factor in when you're actually trading. You can never bet all in on one side of the trade. You have to be prepared and look at every scenario. Nobody can predict the future. If you think you can predict the future, you're dumb. You're not going to be able to, and you have to prepare for if A happens, I'm going to do B. If B happens, I'm going to do C. That's basically how I set up all my trades at all times, preparing for all scenarios. As of right now, I don't have any reason to be buying long. I'm still in the bearish category, thinking that we're going to continue to break down eventually down to about 15.2 and continue lower. If we look at Ethereum, we're basically in a very similar setup. This is actually, relatively, a bullish potential reversal if we did break out above this line. But I'm still kind of in the court that I don't think we're done seeing bad news, especially with the economy. Then when we start seeing earnings for the next earnings with all the price inflation as well, I think that we're going to see more continued downside. We're seeing big job cuts, the biggest job cut in history by Amazon. I think Salesforce had a huge job cut as well. Tesla wasn't able to make deliveries. So a lot of bad news, which is already actually priced into a lot of the market, but I still think we might be seeing more of that kind of bad news coming, which is going to draw down big time on the US stock market, which is also going to bleed into crypto and continue to see downside. So for me, I think this is looking like a potential shorting opportunity as we retest this resistance area as well as these points, and now into this basically whole zone right here would be a potential good time to be locking in gains on if you were long on any of the altcoins, and then for a drop back down to retest the lower boundary. And if we break down below, that's going to be another push down to the lows here about 900, and I do believe we can go as low as about 600-ish on Ethereum. So that's kind of my outlook right now. Again, brief interruption here, guys. Did you know that 75% 75% of traders have accounts under $25,000. This creates a huge problem because even if you double that account in a year, which is almost impossible, you're still only making $25,000. Introducing Hydra funding, where you can potentially get access up to $500,000 in capital. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for a challenge account, which is going to give you potentially access up to $500,000. And if you earn a 10% profit in this demo account without going into a 5% loss overall or a 4% loss in a day, you will then pass their evaluation phase and, yes, get access to an account with the selected size account. And now, instead of trying to double a $10,000 account, you could potentially earn only 10% on a $100,000 account to earn the same level of profits. And the benefits of this are huge. Rather than risking your entire $10,000 on one account, you can use just $1,000 to potentially get access to $100,000 in capital. You can trade crypto, forex, stocks, CFTs, gold, oil, everything under the sun, all on MT4 and MT5. If you're interested, if you have an account under $25,000, like 75% of traders out there, you're not going to make any money with that account because it's too small. Get access to pro level funding and pro level capital with Hydra funding. Link's going to be below. If all of a sudden the economic data starts looking good, I don't know if it's going to be. I'm leaning still towards the bearish side. If we do break out above this triangle pattern on Ethereum, that could cause a big short squeeze to the upside. A lot of people momentum buying in and a lot of people who are short having to cover their position and then potentially come back up and retest towards about 16.8 here across the board on Ethereum. So that's kind of what's going on in the general crypto market. We also saw a lot of bounces, of which I did not catch because a lot of this was happening during the time of when it was, I think, New Year's weekend or Christmas weekend, and we finally saw a lot of actual solid bear traps. We look at like Mana. We saw really nice bear traps that came in place, right? We saw one last breakdown below the lows and then a big squeeze to the upside. Also on ADA, similar pattern, breakdown below the lows, bear trap everyone, and this a huge squeeze to the upside. I believe this was like Saturday, Friday. For me, I was taking the weekend off. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking out of here. I'm going out for New Year's Eve, New Year's. And so I wasn't watching the markets, but we did see a big bounce. So I did miss this cycle here on the bounce for crypto, and I was still short on Bitcoin. And if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin didn't really have, that big of a bottoming buy signal. It was mostly just in the altcoins that they created this run. So my first trade of the year, guys, was a loss on Solana. I was looking to get short here for a bull trap right around the 15 zone. They had this huge spike on this day. It spiked me out, lost about 3K, but I am now back in short here with a stop about 1875-ish. But I do believe that this could be, the area where we do see a short-term peak. I'd actually like to see one more spike above this here, trap everyone, stop everyone out, and then see the pullback towards about 14 here on Solana. You can see I'm actually short just a very small position, just 10%, but I'll continue adding if we continue to spike to new highs here on Solana. So that's the current trade right now. I'm also short, small position, just 10% in Gala. I do believe Gala is going to have a big pullback. We also retested about 50 cents, which is basically a really big, not 50 cents, but 5 cents in between 10, 0, 5, 10. Those are big psychological numbers. As you can see, we did stop about 5 cents here as well. So we're retesting that zone, which is a big psychological barrier. I'm looking to see a potential one more spike above that, trap everyone in, stop everyone out before we see a final collapse. That's why I just went in for a small position here. And I have other positions to add if we spike over it one more time for the actual pullback on Gala. But you have to be very, very cautious when you're shorting parabolic moves like this. They can continue to squeeze. It's very easy to get stopped out. You have to have a very wide range of entries because likelihood is you're not going to pick the right entry, and you have to plan for worst case scenarios because it's likely going to go much higher than you expect it, which makes it very, very difficult. So you have to be looking for other areas of resistance and going in small, especially on your first positions before that happens. I'm also, again, short Solana here. These are the positions currently to short Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Gala across the board. And I'm also short SPX 500. Just picked up my first position after locking in about 70K in gains. As we can see, short, covered my position. And now I'm looking to get short, and short here again if we retest up in those zones. I'm also looking at a potential short on gold if we retest into this zone about 1900. I do believe it's likely we probably spike above this resistance level right here, right into about 1900, spike over 1900, fake everyone out, and then see a potential pullback down to about the mid to low 1800s support area, which where I'll be locking in gains. So definitely looking at gold as a potential short, as that thing has been ripping to the upside, basically nonstop. This is kind of my range where I'm looking short in the short grid zone here on gold. So we'll see how this plays out. And also, guys, if you want to see and hear about all these alerts and everything that I'm doing with my own money, again, never follow anything I'm doing. But if you want to watch me do it in real time, there is the Wolfpack Telegram group, which is going to be a link below. And you'll see exactly when I'm getting it out. What are my profit targets? What are my stop levels? What is my rationale behind that? That's all served to you in real time in Telegram. If you want to actually learn my system, I also have the Krypton system, which also a link below to get started on that. It's basically 20 years of trading experience, crypto, stocks, forex, all packed into 2 amazing, beautiful courses. On top of that, you do get a free psychology course that I recorded that's 6 hours long included with those. But anyways, guys, first trade of the year for a loss. Cam, come on, you can't do that. What can you do? It was a pretty solid 2022, amazing 2021. It'll be interesting to see what 2023 has in store for us. But anyways, guys, Jerome's speaking today, and then CPI numbers are coming out on Thursday. Gonna be a big, crazy week. Also looking at USD JPY as well as DXY. If the dollar gets back down into this buy grid about 100, I'll be loading up on USD JPY. But that's it for today. Be careful out there. If you want to see when the numbers are coming out, cryptocraft.com. They're not sponsored by me, but maybe they should pay me some money. I'm always talking about them. Anyways, that's a wrap. Catching you guys in the next one.